Sawadee krab, good morning, and thank you for joining us on Newsline, broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand, FM 88, and NBT World. It's Sunday, January 31st, and you're with me, Surabhat Lautaranarit. Let's start off with today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has praised the virtues and achievements of the two winners of the Prince Mahidol Award. During the Returning Happiness to the People project, General Prayut congratulated the two recipients of the Prince Mahidol Award, which was graciously bestowed by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn. The first recipient was Dr. Morton M. Mower from the United States, who is the co-inventor of the automatic implantable cardioverter defibrillator, or AICD, as well as the inventor of cardiac resynchronization therapy, or CRT. The other winner was Sir Michael Gideon Marmot from the United Kingdom. He was recognized for his epidemiological research, which focuses on the health and equality of all people, regardless of race, religion, and social status. His research has helped to establish a number of healthcare practices and policies that are used worldwide. The Prime Minister also took the opportunity to offer his support to all researchers who make valuable contributions to humanity. In 1992, His Majesty the King founded the Prince Mahidol Award Foundation to commemorate the 100th birthday anniversary of Prince Mahidol of Songkhla, who is recognized by Thais as the father of modern medicine and public health of Thailand. Since then, the foundation has granted awards each year for outstanding contributions in the fields of medicine and public health. Our very own Sandra Hanusaha had the chance to talk to Sir Michael Gideon Marmot, winner of the Prince Mahidol Award 2015 in public health, and a pioneer in the field of social epidemiology. His research on social determinants of health, or SDH, helps to shape public health policies around the world. Let's have a look.
So you were knighted in 2000 by Queen Elizabeth, and you're going to be royally recognized once again for your services in healthcare. So I'd like to ask you about your research on the social determinants of health over the past 35 years. Can you tell us, has anything in these determinants stood out? Anything that has shown out amongst the others? And how has the World Health Organization Commission been dealing with those determinants?
Well, I often get asked, is there one thing to look at, which is a version of your question, and my response is no, not one thing. We say you need action through the life course. Good quality early child development. So one of, for me, a discovery as I got involved in trying to put the evidence together to influence policy was how important early life was. That we need to get equity from the start with good quality psychological development, social, emotional, behavioral development, as well as physical development. But that doesn't mean education is unimportant. The fact that we put emphasis on early childhood, we know how important education is. Women who are more educated, particularly women, have babies that are more likely to survive. They're probably more likely to exercise choice over when to have babies, if to have babies, and how many to have. What the evidence shows is the more education women have, the fewer children they choose to have in country after country after country. And of course, education for men and for women is good for their own survival. But then the quality of work is important. We know in a country like Thailand, more than 40% of non-agricultural employees are in the informal sector. If you're in informal employment, it means no security of employment, no unemployment benefits, not really much control over the quality of the work environment and reduction of exposure to hazards and the like. So going right through the life course, and then of course the quality of conditions in which older people live, all important. And that's why I resist saying, oh, it's just early childhood or it's just education. They're all important. And then when we stand back, the inequities in power, money, and resources that we see globally between countries and within countries are driving these inequities in the conditions of daily life.
Okay, and with the increasing globalization and also the advances in information and communication technology, are we seeing a change or an emergence of new social determinants on health?
We see two sides to globalization, a good and a bad. The good side is knowledge is widely shared, and that evidence from one part of the world can be shared in every other part of the world really quickly. And I mean, in India, they always tell me that there are more mobile phones than there are bathrooms. Well, in fact, my family, we have more mobile phones than we have bathrooms, so it's not unique to India. But the point is that mobile phone technology is widely shared. People are no longer cut off, and they can communicate. That's a brilliant positive result of globalization. The negative result, look at what's happening in Europe. We hardly make garments anymore. All the jobs have been exported somewhere else. That may be very good for women in Bangladesh. It's not very good for garment workers in Europe. So, and the conditions of work are suspect. When a garment factory in Bangladesh collapsed, the Rana Plaza incident, and people died, and I thought, we're all responsible. If we want to buy cheap clothes, and those cheap clothes mean substandard conditions of work in Bangladesh, then we bear some responsibility. So that's the other side of globalization, the fact that risks are shared as well as benefit.
Okay. Well, congratulations once again on receiving the award.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking with us.
It's my pleasure.
The Prime Minister has asked members of the public to commemorate the sacrifices Thai soldiers made in times of conflict as the National Veterans Day approaches. In his nationally televised address, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said people living behind the wall security should commemorate the heroic acts of soldiers standing on the front line and willing to make sacrifices in order to serve and protect their nation and the people. Although the country is not at war, he said there are a large number of soldiers, police officers, security officers, and volunteers who are on duty in the field to protect the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. To demonstrate their gratitude, he asked the public to purchase remembrance puppies, which are an important symbol that recognizes the sacrifices of the country's soldiers. The Thai Premier also urged all sides to make Thailand the country the soldiers gave their lives to protect, a peaceful and prosperous nation. The Royal Thai government is working around the clock to combat slavery and illegal labor in the fishing industry. Legal action has been taken against a number of perpetrators. Let's take a look at this report from the Command Center for Combating Illegal Fishing.
ถ้าแรงงานเราจ้างเข้ามาเราก็ต้องให้การดูแลให้เขาตามคนไม่ใช่บังคับใช้แล้วก็ใช้การบังคับหรือตบตี
แล้วก็ดูแลตามระบบให้ชัดเจนตรวจสอบได้
แม้แต่ทูน่าถ้าโดนแดงจะโดนกระทบมากที่สุดเพราะว่าเราทำนี่เพื่อประโยชน์ของประเทศไทย
เรื่องใหญ่วันนี้คือภาพของประเทศก่อนภาพลักษณ์ประเทศภาพลักษณ์ของรัฐบาลแล้วค่อยมาภาพลักษณ์ของคนไทยแล้วก็อุตสาหกรรม
The recent fish processing factory labor issues has become one of the conditions in solving Thai fisheries problem. The Command Center for Combating Illegal Fishing has been taking action and integrating the efforts from all related agencies to achieve concrete result to a certain level. The public sector has also been involved in solving the problem, led by the Frozen Food Association of Thailand, with clear policy to stop using shrimps from all long or primary processing facility operating outside the factory since 1st of January 2016, and to use shrimp from standardized facility only. Apart from immediate solving of the problem downstream, this decision also led to the primary processing facilities having to be reconditioned according to the standard requirements as well.
ผมในฐานะนายกสมาคมอาหารแช่เยือกแข็งซึ่งมีสมาชิกส่งออกกุ้งเป็นหลักทั้งหมดนะครับอยู่ 74 รายนะครับเราได้ตัดสินใจนะครับประกาศนโยบายชัดเจนครับว่าหยุดการใช้เนื้อกุ้งหรือกุ้งที่แปรรูปต้นจากสถานประกอบการหรือนอกโรงงานทั้งหมดนะครับแล้วตั้งแต่วันที่ 1 มกราคมเป็นต้นไปเราจะใช้เฉพาะกุ้งที่ผลิตในโรงงานเราอย่างเดียวครับเพื่อตัดตอนปัญหาทั้งหมดครับ
Meanwhile, the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has voted 175 to none, with 3 abstentions, to accept in principle the Human Trafficking Criminal Procedure Act. The draft act was proposed by Justice Minister General Phaiboon Khumchaya, who explained to members of the NLA that human trafficking is a major threat to all mankind, as it violates human rights. In addition, he said the severity of human trafficking threatens national security, social security, and sustainable development of the nation. Therefore, he said more effective measures must be taken against all human traffickers, and that criminal procedures against one of the world's most shameful crimes must be conducted fairly, promptly, and according to international standards. After hearing General Phaiboon's statement, the NLA approved the draft act while making a number of suggestions, saying human trafficking victims must be protected and categorized according to the circumstances. And when rescued, victimized children should not be separated from their parents. Judges and lawyers handling human trafficking cases must also be knowledgeable about the issue. The Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, has made a public debut of its first draft of the new charter, while affirming that suggestions from all sectors will continue to be gathered for a more complete version. CDC Chairman Michai Rishupan presided over a press conference to announce details of the first charter draft. He said the draft is primarily targeted to prevent and clamp down on corruption, as it carries a lifetime political ban on any individual with a record of corruption. The draft obligates the cabinet to administer the country with honesty, while the Office of the Ombudsman will be in charge of the examination process, and political office holders will need endorsement from the Constitutional Court. As for independent organizations, Mr. Michai insisted that the draft does not give them too much power, but only adds more clarity to their operations. Regarding the electoral system, the CDC chairman said the draft allows for full participation by the public. Voting will be conducted in the form of mixed-member proportional representation, while the name of each party's candidate for prime minister must be disclosed to the public beforehand. Senators, meanwhile, will come from an indirect election to avert intervention by politicians and capitalists. Prices of 3 consumer goods are to fall following the continuous decrease in fuel prices in the country, according to the Department of Internal Trade. Director General of the Department of Internal Trade, Wibulak Romrak, has disclosed that after fuel prices had dropped, the department summoned domestic producers and asked them to reduce prices of goods in accordance with the actual costs, which include the cost of transportation. Because prices of fuel have decreased markedly, the cost of transporting goods from producers to retailers should be lower. She said the prices of 11 items have already been reduced, including powdered milk, rice, canned fish, power cords, cement, and steel bars. In addition, she said she expects prices of 3 more products to fall. These products are soap, detergent, and toothpaste. Furthermore, Ms. Wibulak revealed that the department will organize product fairs between June 15th and August 15th in 10 provinces nationwide in a bid to offer low-priced consumer goods to the people. According to the Office of Industrial Economics, or OIE, domestic production in the industrial sector grew 0.3% in 2015 and is expected to surge 2% this year. OIE Director Sirirut Julakarat has revealed that the Manufacturing Production Index, or MPI, in December last year increased by 1.3% compared to the previous month, thanks to a higher number of orders for plastic products, concrete products, accessories, cooking oil, and construction materials. As a result, the annual growth for 2015 was recorded at 0.3%. Despite steady growth in the industrial production, Thailand saw a drop of 4.6% in exports of industrial goods in 2015. The OIE director said he expects to see more investments in the industrial sector, which will result from the government's economic policies. These policies seek to build industrial clusters in 10 locations across Thailand, develop basic infrastructure, and encourage the innovation of products. With these policies in place, Mr. Sirirut said this year's MPI could grow at the rate of 2%. Despite the optimistic estimate, he noted that shrinkage in the country's exports could hold the MPI growth at no more than 2%. And that's all for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. We'll take a quick break now, but before that, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Should gifts of bounty fill the trawler still, I dance in thanks to thee.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Department of Industrial Promotion, or DIP, has launched a project in which 17 selected industries will be specially supported through collaborative clusters. The DIP hopes to see the Thai economy grow by at least 530 million baht through this program. Kun Panosi Sinsap reports.
99% of the entire companies registered in Thailand are small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs. These many millions of SMEs make up 33% of the country's GDP, or 3.75 trillion baht. Meanwhile, a mere 0.4% of major conglomerates generates the other 67% of the country's GDP. General Prayut Chan-o-cha's administration is placing major importance on this army of small companies so that they can become more productive in the world's market, especially in the ASEAN region. While businesses are competing with determination in the face of the ongoing economic malaise, the Department of Industrial Promotion, or DIP, has decided to promote their activities by grouping them into clusters. This strategy requires close collaboration, sharing of knowledge, resources, and materials to better compete in a greater society.
The ideas of the cluster is we try to pull the strength of each agents and share to each other. They have to come in together with open heart. They share the knowledge as well as they share what is they know to each other, innovations and as well as the resources. We do believe that in this kind of competitive environment in the free market, you cannot be alone. You cannot stand alone and fight with all the competitors,
The department has chosen to strengthen 17 clusters among a total of 77 such groupings.
We select the sectors that we have comparative advantage already. For example, the food, like textile, garment, and as well as something on the agricultural based manufacturing sectors. I understand one might doubt about the success of the cluster. Why we pulling all agencies come together? Because they are naturally competitors, right? But we do believe that cooperations can be created among the competitors.
The DIP will act as a facilitator, providing expertise, guidance, and all possible assistance measures to boost productivity, innovation, and synergy among the clusters. The DIP estimates that this strategy could reduce production costs by 65 million baht among the 17 clusters while expanding the economy by 530 million baht. Interested companies can directly contact the DIP at 02-202-4581 for more information or register to be a part of this project. Ambanosi Sinsap, NBT World.
Moving on to the international news, more than 2,100 pregnant Colombian women are infected with the mosquito-borne Zika virus, the country's National Health Institute said on Saturday, as the disease continues to spread across the Americas. The virus has been linked to the devastating birth defect microcephaly, which prevents the fetal brain from developing properly. There is no vaccine or treatment. There are 20,297 confirmed cases of the disease in Colombia, the National Health Institute said in an epidemiology bulletin. Among them are 2,116 pregnant women. Earlier figures from the Health Ministry showed 560 pregnant women had the disease out of more than 13,500 infections. There are so far no reported cases of microcephaly or deaths from the virus in Colombia. Zika cases have been confirmed in 23 countries and territories in the Americas, and scientists are racing to develop a vaccine for the virus. Nearly half of Colombia's Zika cases have been reported in the country's Caribbean region, the bulletin said. More than 60% of those infected are women. And that wraps up today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with a beauty pageant in Phetchaburi province. I'm Surapan Lautaraнаrit. Thank you for your company and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ